Good evening. I'm back. I had a long day at work today. I had 4.5 hours of massage, so kind of beat. I ate leftovers for dinner that we had from last night, so I ate those. And I'm not sure. It's pretty much budget friendly with the exception of the pork shoulder, which for a little over a pound I think it's a little over a pound. Might be 2 pounds. I really have no idea. It's about $8 for the pork shoulder, and then I cooked that in the crock pot with some leftover onions and like sweet peppers that I had from like a month ago. So I sliced all those up and put them in the freezer. So I put the pork in the crock pot, let that cook for about 6 hours on low, and then once Wayne got home, it was like an hour before I was gonna get home. So I just had him take those onions and peppers, put them in the crock pot, kind of just let them kind of just get warm because they don't really need to be cooked because they're gonna be soft already because they're in the freezer. And then I got home and I made some just white rice. So I put the pork and the peppers in with the white rice, and then I added a little bit of sour cream and then some cheese, and that melted, and it made it all like gooey and really delicious. So I had that last night and tonight. It was really good. So Wayne was really happy with it. So that might be a staple in our house. So I'll kind of show you guys. Maybe I'll do a little video tutorial later on, and I'll show you guys um, the step-by-step process, even though I already told you. But anyways, so today I was transferring some documents over from my PC to my Mac, and I found something in a Word document that I wrote, and I transferred it over, and it was when I was, let's see, probably 6 months away from finishing my debt Snowball, and I had a really, it sounded like a really hard winter and like hard January, February. So I thought that it would be kind of fun for me to read it for you. Just to give you guys a little bit of insight and just like this stuff, it's not easy, and just share a little bit of my process. I'm going to pull that up. Okay, here it is. I am back on track. For the last 4 months, I have been derailed. Just after Christmas, I lost the intensity of my debt snowball. I had been at it for a year, and I was just tired. I had made amazing progress in the last year. I paid off over $9,000 in debt, starting from my smallest bills to largest. I had made the last payment to my last credit card at the end of October to Key Bank in a lump sum of $1,100, and I can't explain how good that felt. I felt freed of the bad decisions I had made. It was my business credit card, and I racked it up with things I thought I needed, but in reality, it was just stuff I wanted. After that was paid off, I had my last two debts staring me in the face: Sally Mae and her balance of just over $4,600. I felt defeated in a way. I had been at it for a year, and I still had a balance that was large enough to worry about, but so close that it could be gone in less than 6 months. So what did I do? What did I do? I said screw it and replaced my $400 camera in January. Which is true, but I had waited an entire year to replace it because it fell in the ocean. So I'm not upset about it. I bought some new clothes. In February, I put a deposit down for our vacation in April. In March, we went on a few small trips. I signed up for the marathon, and I know there were countless shopping trips for clothes and a few tanning packages. Yeah, there were. I didn't want to burn when we were in Moab, so I went tanning. And I did do the Portland Marathon in October. And I finished it. It was my second one, and I'm not doing one for a really long time. So that's that. In April, I realized that this had to stop. I had also put off creating my monthly business P&I statement because I didn't want to see how much money I had spent although I don't need a statement to have a good idea. So my P&I statement is my profit and income statement that I do for my business every month to see, basically taking my bank account and just seeing what I made. We got home from vacation last week. I stayed within my budget that I had set for myself while we were away, and I'm back on track. If I wouldn't have backpedaled, I would be done in a few months. I have a completed budget for May, and I am determined to stay on track. I am listening to Dave Ramsey every day like I used to. I will have to practice saying no again, learning my wants versus needs. My goal is to pay off my smaller student loan of the two by June 15th. Then I'll just have one to go. The light will shine a little brighter. The funny thing is that when you decide to commit, other things happen. April was a really slow month for business. I was really upset about it and in a bad mood and not looking forward to vacation. Since I had been back, I have booked a few new appointments, and this new attitude has me thinking of new ideas, and I am more motivated now because I am back in the goal-setting mind frame. It's amazing how much more money you have when you set a budget. So, looking back, a lot of it, there was just so much that was happening in the beginning of that year that I feel like I had too many goals. We wanted to go on vacation. We did. We went to Moab, Utah for a week. We had a really, really great time. But that vacation was actually really inexpensive. We drove our Honda Civic. We were getting like 28 miles to the gallon. And from where we live to Moab, it's about, what is it? 1,000 miles one way. So, I mean, right there, I really don't know how much gas was, maybe $300. And then we stayed at a hostel, which ended up being, off the top of my head, I think it was like $30 a night. So in reality, that wasn't a huge expense. But you can kind of see that there were little things that kept getting piled back on top, and then more and more and more and more. And it's those little things that will literally just break your bank. And that's why it's so important to set a budget so that you can see all of the small areas where you're spending money and where you can take some of that from and throw it towards your debt. So during the beginning of that year, I stopped making a budget. I stopped following, the Dave Ramsey program. And, I didn't really get anywhere. So if you're feeling frustrated with your budget, or if you've been off of it for a couple of months, for the following month, or even the month that you're in now, just where you're at today, make a budget, just look at it, and I feel like just seeing the numbers will give you just motivation to start over and to get back on track. And then once you do get back on track, you'll feel really good about it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because this is a hard journey. And I know when I listen to Dave Ramsey's podcast, people call in, do their debt-free screams, or they're in the building. Some people make it sound so easy, and I'd say that the concept of it is easy, but there are definitely months or weeks or days where it's hard, and you're not alone. I mean, it's just creating new habits, creating change, and sticking to them. And if you fall off, you just have to get back on. So I just wanted to share that, give you a little insight of what my journey was like with the debt-free snowball, or the debt-free process, and working my snowball. And we're all here together. We're all doing it. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. Thank you.